So the newest chapter of Blue Lock just came out and things are insane. If you remember from last chapter, Isagi stopped a pass from Lorenzo to Baro, and this chapter picks up right from there, saying with his newly evolved vision and anticipation, Isagi easily shuts down Baro. It's now time to counterattack. We see Isagi's thinking to himself and he's in a metavision state where he's saying dash, jump, first touch. Compared to the last match, my body can better keep up with my thought process. Looks like all the training I did paid off. This is of course talking about when he originally got metavision and he couldn't use it for that long because it strained his body and mind extremely. But this time, after his training with Kunigami, he can keep it up for quite a while. He says, alright, let's do this, time to score off the counterattack. He passes it to Corona and begins coordinating with him in order to destroy the Uber's defenses. We cut to Yuki and Mia Hussein attacking with a counterattack of their own, so this is what you were aiming for, Isagi. With Lorenzo so high up on the field, the Ubers still haven't organized their defenses. Right now, Isagi x Corona, that planet hotline of theirs can easily steamroll through the field. So basically, since Lorenzo before was going up the field with the ball in order to coordinate with Baro, he wasn't able to get back on defense fast enough to stop the planet hotline that Isagi and Corona were creating. Yuki Mia says if that's the case, I'll change my target to them. No hard feelings, Isagi. Our team's philosophy is devouring each other to create chemical reactions, right? And attempts to steal the ball from Isagi, but is stopped by a defender on the Uber's team, and it's revealed that Isagi actually just used him as bait. And in this moment, Yuki Mia actually says that his dribbling has gotten so much better. We cut back to Isagi with the text saying God vision plus the body to maximize it. Even now, he's still evolving as expected of my rival. So instead of it being named Metavision this time, it's named God Vision, and now he can actually use it to its full extent due to him training his body in order to do so. We then cut to Kaiser, who's being chased by Lorenzo, who's saying planning something, not that it matters since you're locked down, Ace, which makes Kaiser very angry because he can't really do anything with Lorenzo on his back. We then go to Nika, who says since he's marking Kaiser, Lorenzo won't fall to the back line. If we get hit on the counter in this situation, our first priorities as defenders isn't to steal the ball, but rather to focus on slowing down their attack. A defensive formation designed to stop a quick counterattack by slowing down the pace of the game. We'll go for the steal after that. So instead of initiating a defense on them, they're playing passively in order to slow down the attack itself. But Isagi just continues charging at them, and it's revealed that Isagi and Corona knew they were going to defend like this and decides to challenge them in a straight up speed battle. And at that moment, he chose to go through both Nico and Aiku, and Nico says that the footwork that he used is way better than last time. Corona then says check, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and passes it to Isagi, who says perfect Corona. But out of nowhere, Ness comes out of the blue and says not so fast Yoichi. In the event Lorenzo gets in Kaiser's way, it's my job to crush you by any means necessary. So obviously Ness, even after being angry, is still Kaiser's lapdog. Ness then says, Yoichi, after studying your direct shot, I realized it's trash, while bumping into his shoulder to change the center of gravity. He then says, a defective shot that can only shoot with your right foot. Once I knock you off your balance, you're finished. One trashy Yoichi coming up. So this is a direct parallel to what he did, to what Sei did in the U20 match, where he basically just knocked him off of his balance in order to destroy his shot. And this did work very well in the Sei match because he wasn't able to shoot there and he basically destroyed Isagi's direct shot pretty easily. But due to his training, Isagi won't go down this easy this time, and he surprises us all by saying think again asshole, and kicks the ball with his left foot, scoring a lefty direct shot. In the final page, the blurb says his striker blood dances in delight. After undergoing an evolution, Isagi smiles as he scores his first Neo Egoist League goal. And the next chapter is called E4, or Egoist 4. Now before going into all the Isagi stuff, I wanted to cover a few things real quick, such as the goals that both Botcher and Rin made on the Uber teams. Now in my last chapter review videos, I said that they would be pretty insane if Lorenzo was defending against them and they were able to score these goals. But due to the context of this chapter, depending on who was on the field at the time, Lorenzo might not have been locking them down as they might not have had the highest bounty, or salary, my bad. So with that being said, if Lorenzo was playing as he is right now, then it would make sense for them to be able to score goals, but it would be interesting since they did still score on people like Nico and Aiku. I also wanted to say that me and a few other people definitely did call this in my last video. Look at the actual lefty shot piece and the puzzle piece in the newest chapter. They're basically the same, but they're flipped. So yeah, you know. But I saw a lot of people calling this thing like plot armor or him like progressing too fast, but it kind of makes sense. If you look back a few chapters or, quite a while, he actually tried to make a shot with his left foot in the U20 match, but it was unfortunately blocked by Aiku. And then he also was able to make one against the Blue Lock man, which is a pretty good defender in the Blue Lock facility. All the pieces for this was really set up from the beginning, and him getting a lefty shot isn't too crazy since he has the training of someone like Kunigami, who literally specializes in this area. Also, we shouldn't underrate Isagi's spatial awareness and metavision on this level, as after his evolution, he was able to slip past both Nico and Aiku at the same time. Nico is someone who's able to read, albeit holding back Sei in the U20 game, but Isagi's evolved so far that he's able to blow past him and get in his blind spot. Although I have seen theories saying that maybe they let him get past to see how he plays or something, but I'll leave that up to you guys. I don't personally believe it. I also wanted to mention that if Isagi got Kunigami's lefty shot, it would be interesting to see Kunigami get something from Isagi, such as Metavision or something of the sort. But I don't see Kunigami just training Isagi out of the kindness of his heart or something, especially after what he said when he first entered the Neo Egoist arc and saw Isagi for the first time. So maybe Kunigami also had an awakening as well, and he'll score an amazing goal. Also, you guys remember in chapter 209 where Noah said, "Don't get too fixated on Isagi, Kaiser. I will not tolerate any more of your irrational and illogical plays." Well, I think the same thing goes for Ness, and I wouldn't be surprised if Noah decides to pull him out of the game and sub him out for somebody, due to him purposefully trying to stop Isagi from scoring, and it being pretty obvious. And as for the next chapter, I wanted to mention that the name is E4, and E4 in chess, if you didn't know, is the king's pawn opening. So I wouldn't be surprised if this chapter is about something Bar's going to do, or centered around him or something of the sort. I also wanted to mention that you guys shouldn't lose hope in Raichi, since I don't think he would be started for no reason just to get, pummeled by Lorenzo in the first chapter of the match. And he'll probably end up doing something pretty amazing in the later chapters of the match. But another translation of this title could be Egoist 4, so it might support the idea that Ness is being subbed out for someone like Hiyori, so the Egoist 4 would be someone like Isagi, Krona, Yukimiya, and Hiyori. But this is all just pure conjecture. And also the number 4 in Japanese is associated with death, so it could mean something like Egoist death as well. All in all, this chapter was pretty amazing, and I think it makes perfect sense why Isagi was able to get past the defense, even though Mark Snuffy's supposed to be a strategy freak and Lorenzo's supposed to be the best defender. Basically, their whole defense is based around Lorenzo, and if he's up on the midfield or higher, then the team tries to slow down incoming attackers, but Isagi simply saw this and took advantage of it like crazy, and was able to get past the defenders pretty easily, by just charging at them full speed and going past them. This just shows Isagi's amazing playmaking has just gotten even better, and will continue to do so for as long as he keeps playing the game. There isn't really much to go off of, but my prediction for the next chapter is probably something concerning Baro and the counterattack, just because of the E4 name, even though it could mean something like Egoist death. But I also definitely do think that Ness is getting subbed out for someone like Hiyori, so the other E4 interpretation makes perfect sense as well. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also check out some more of my videos since I post a lot pretty often and I'm beginning to post more often. But yeah, goodbye.